Thank you for staying with us. The first leg of this conversation is about the state of this nation and some of the development, especially political development that we have witnessed in the past few days. And, we've had a brief inside conversation with that yesterday, but then we continue on it today and have a different opinion. I have a public affairs analyst looking into these for us. And firstly, is about the statement of, the former Kano State Governor, Abdullahi Ganduje, who is the national chairman of the APC, while in Kebbi State, where he said they call for a one-party state. If it's the wish of Nigerians, why not? In fact, he said too many cooks, spoiled the meal, and too many political or parties rather, may not be good for democracy. So why not? If not, and there have been many reactions towards that. Is it a subtle plan, or is it just an excited national chairman of a party just speaking, in a very verbose manner? We have joining us today virtually a public affairs analyst and also a lawyer, Liberos Oshoma. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Oshoma.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Good morning.
Thank you, sir. What do you make of this subtle call, that's what many persons call it, for a one-party state by Abdullahi Ganduje?
I don't know why you people are taking Ganduje'S statement serious. If you remember, these are the kind of reckless statements that comes from the ruling party chairman. You remember when John Wondo was PDP national chairman, he told us that PDP was going to rule for 60 years.
Right.
And not just long after that, PDP was ousted from office. So it is a similar call by Ganduje, an excited chairman who is trying to defend the actions and inactions of his party and president. So certainly you're going to hear statements like this from people like him. More will come, So, but in deep reflection,
right,
really, you ask me what is the meaning of a political party. Political party are a group of people that share the same ideology, that come together, for the purpose of holding political offices. So the question you will ask yourself is, this group of people that come together in Nigeria to hold political office, are they people who share a common ideology? The only common ideology that runs among our politicians is how to pilfer public funds. And when you are, how do I put it now, you're no more, your finances are low. The best way to collect money publicly from anywhere without being answerable to anybody, it is just to vie for public office. Use the little that you have, just get into office and double it. Or if you want to secure the future of your children in Nigeria, just find a way to push them into public office. So that's the only ideology that runs amongst them. And it's the same ideology across party lines. If you remember when PDP was in power, what led to the former chairman making such reckless statements was that they controlled almost everywhere.
Right.
AD was in Southwest. In the 2003 election, they took over the Southwest completely. The Northeast was the only place where you had ANPP remaining. Every other place was PDP, apart from Lagos and, the Northeast. I think at Adamawa, Yobe, and Taraba now. Every other place was controlled by PDP, apart from ANPP in these places. So they felt, untouchable and felt, okay, yes, we're going to control Nigeria for God knows how long. But at the end of the day, we saw how it ended. So if you ask me, certainly, it is their right and prerogative to make such statements. It is the right of Nigerians during the election to either come together and decide that, look, enough is enough, or allow them to continue. So, but really, like I said, if you look deeply into our politics, you would find out that what we have really are not political parties, stricto sensu, but, you know, political associations. That's why those associations are like platforms that they use to run for public office. So anybody can move from one platform to another. So they are really not political parties, strictly speaking. So all of them share the same ideology. So if we now talk about one party state, what we have had since 1999 had been a one party state. Remember, even in 1999, some people were all together, the G37, eventually they broke away. Some people said Abacha politicians joined them and they couldn't, you know, stay in the same place with Abacha politicians. But at the end of the day, Bola Ige ended up serving with some of these so-called Abacha politicians. And by 2003, they all realigned. They all were in the same pool. And, you know, PDP started making incursion. And then in the Southwest, we started hearing of Power Six. You know, they will have a cap for it. So those are what we have, you know, consistently have. That's why Ganduje can make such a statement, because you look at what is happening recently. People who felt they have seen messiahs in Labour Party, the elected House of Representatives members and, you know, senators on the platform of Labour Party, believing that these people will be different, the ideology and manifestos of this party will be different, only for those people to get into the National Assembly. And they just found solace quickly, realignment in the same people that they all once criticized.
All right.
Look at the Delta State quickly. Delta State, for example, since 1999, that state had been a PDP state. But if you look at the behavior of the governors there, and the behavior of the governors, whether in APC or in Labour, or is the same thing. So that is why it is convenient for the governor to jump ship into APC, because they are all the same. So really, I don't really see any difference in them. That's why Ganduje can make such a
all right, Mr. Oshoma. In his statement, when he was calling for, when he said there was nothing wrong with the one-party state, he actually compared Nigeria to China. He actually gave an example saying, after all, China is running a one-party state. And again, like yesterday I said it here on this platform that he wasn't totally correct on that. Of course, the one-party state in China, talking about the Chinese Communist Party, the CCP, which started in around October 1949 under the leadership of Mao Zedong. They've come a long way. Even though they have a one-party state, we cannot say China is actually practicing a democracy. Ideally, what China is practicing is an authoritarian system of government where we have like 11 other political parties which are subservient to the CCP. Away from that, looking at Ganduje, interestingly, he will be facing prosecution soon on corruption charges. So does he really, in your opinion, does he really have the moral, how do I put it now? Does he really have the moral right to say that if Nigerians so wish, then we should actually be considering a one-party state?
That's why I said it is, you know, the media that considers Ganduje's statement and then begin to discuss it. If you look at the body language and the attitude of politicians, like I told you, you talked about China. What do we have that is different from what we really have in China? There are worse here than what you have in China. At least you see China, even the one-party state in China that you have other fringe, you know, smaller parties, they are developing the China as if, you know, development is going out of fashion. It's like they are competing with themselves. They are not competing with anybody. But today, in Nigeria, is Nigeria competing with anybody in terms of development? The only thing that we have comparable to them is that here, once you are in government, you can do no wrong. That is why Ganduje, who everybody saw on TV, pocketing words of foreign currency, the president said he's not sure He doesn't know why he would do that. And yet, the State Anti-Corruption Agency had invited him consistently, the chairman of a ruling party. He has refused to honor such invitation. And then we're talking about comparing if Nigerians want. Yes, if Nigerians want, if you have a government that is developing Nigeria as if development, we need to catch up, naturally everybody will gravitate towards that government. Everybody, some people might even tell that government, go ahead, just continue. After all, we have not had it this good. So it's sorry, but for me, Nigerians really don't. It's getting to a stage where they don't really care about, this party line, party divide. All they want is good governance. So that is why you saw the way people supported the Labour Party presidential candidate, because he aligned with, his thoughts aligned with the people. But, even Tinubu once, when he was in Lagos, his thoughts used to resonate with a lot of people until he became president. That was when they knew that he was all bubuyaya. So it is the same thing here. These people, rhetorics, they can look for examples anywhere. Oh, you look at China. China is developing. China condemns corruption, and if you steal, it is death by hanging. Why are we not proposing such punishment for corruption and stealing here in Nigeria? Why didn't Ganduje'S say, yes, if China has one party state, China does this, we should do it here too? Why is he not drawing such similarities? So leave these people. When it's convenient for them, they tell you what they want you to hear, right, or what they want to tell themselves. So it is not about development, it is about selfishness. And that is why that mentality is always there when they will move from a governor becomes senator and if they turn Senate to the retirement home. You see a former governorship aspirant who becomes a senator, he comes back to be commissioner, and in some cases can even, if they give him local government chairman, subsequently he will take, because he just wants to be relevant. The moment he's out of office, his phone will no longer ring. So that's basically it. It has nothing to do with development. Right. So they're all in the same party. The only people who are in opposition, it's you and I. The kind of democracy that we practice, you have the rulers and those that they are leading. Those that are leading are the ones in opposition. The unfortunate part is that the followers who are in opposition are struggling every day to join that rulership position, so that when they get there, they also want to chop. That is why when they give you appointment, if you talk too much, they'll tell you, that we call you, can't chop. Not to come begin the make noise and do all of these activities.
Right.
So that's basically it.
Right. And, but before we go to other talking point, one will say, with the gale of defections we are seeing, ordinarily, at least on the surface, that politicians, that you will think that wherever they are, whatever party, they are comfortable, they are big enough, and they can always win election. Everybody is gravitating towards the center. Now, just yesterday or 2 days ago, all the three senators in Kebbi State defected to the APC, including a former governor, a former minister, Adamu Alero, and he joined them back to the APC. He has been there before. He was in the CPC. He came back to the PDP. Now he's back in the APC, and other ranking senators as well. The whole gamut of structure of PDP moved in Delta State. Umayan of Akwa Ibom has said, I don't care what you people think. This is who I'm supporting in 2027. And, many persons will say there are other bigwigs who are gravitating towards the center, and in which you will think wherever you are, you can always win election. Mr. Oshoma, what is the catch for these guys?
It's a conspiracy of the elite. Conspiracy of the elite against those they are leading. So that is why here, people don't know the powers of the president in Nigeria. The president of Nigeria is stronger than the president of America. The president of America can be checkmated. The president of Nigeria cannot be checkmated. Once you know how to share the goods, After every week, they sit down in FAC meeting. They have FAC, they have FEC. You know, so they sit down and they connive and decide what to do. The saddest part for me is this. Ademo, for example, won election on the platform of PDP. So his party is not threatened. His position is not threatened. Even the governor of Delta State, for example, also, his position is not threatened because I visited Warri and I saw what the man did there. So from all of that, you would think that, yes, such a person will consolidate. Exactly. Indirectly, what they are telling you is that there might be no election in 2027. You know, it will be a walk in the park. When we complained in 1979 that, 1983, that the MPN massively rigged the election at the Loye, Shagari and Co. We didn't know that what was to come, that in the future, there might be no election and results will just be announced. So that's the unfortunate part of the reality of our today. What you have is a conspiracy of the elite against those they are leading. That's why I told you that the politicians are not in opposition, irrespective of the party that they belong to.
All right.
That is why it is easy and convenient for them to crisscross. They are not the ones in opposition. What we have is a one-party state already. A conspiracy of the elite against the led.
All right.
They are all in one party, and the party is called ruling party.
Okay. All right, Mr. Oshoma. You have called it the conspiracy of the elite. Now, looking at the APC itself, what exactly is it about the APC that they are gaining so much ground now? A lot of people are moving towards them. Should we call it, I asked this question on this platform, and I'm asking again, should we call it strategy on the part of the APC? Or like some, other opinions in some quarters will say, some are saying, is this sorcery or is this strategy on the part of APC? So what exactly is the APC doing for them to be attracting so many people, so many bigwigs all over the country into their fold?
If you remember President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's strategy, before I go into Bola Ahmed Tinubu's strategy, in 2002, when Obasanjo was the president of Nigeria, you saw what he did in the Southwest. Even though they didn't support him in 1999, but in 2003, they said, oh, this is our own, we should come together and support him. When Tinubu was governor in Lagos, the allegations, I don't know how true, that even the opposition party was funded by him. And so that's why today they are not been able to win election. And then, when he became president, the first thing he did, he hosted his colleagues who were senators with him in 1992. I saw that as very strategic. He hosted his colleagues who were governors with him in 1999 to 2007. I also saw that as what was to come. And these are the results that we are seeing today. It is not that APC is doing anything fantastic. It is all about power grabbing. And so if you look at the politics in the North, certain persons are threatening to take power from him in the North. And so what is he doing? How can he consolidate in the North? Talk to those he can talk to. There is no need to remain in that other side of divide and support. To show that you truly support, you need to pull together. You need to come in. So it's all politics of 2027 for consolidation for the president.
All right.
And so if all of these politicians who are big weights, who have won election on other platforms that they ever moved to, are moving into the president's party, that will reassure the president of 2027. And those people who are ganging up against him in the North would see the storm coming and might kill their ambition. the ambition will be dead on arrival. People like Atiku and the El-Rufai.
Right.
It is just a statement for political office, for power grabbing. It has nothing to do with whether APC is doing something fantastic or not. It is a statement of, it's a political statement to say, look, I can gather, people, the same way Atiku is attempting to gather people in the north and, play politics of, the north is not happy with the president. So, and yet, you're now seeing the big wig from the north central, all of them moving into the president's political party. So by the time the entire southeast, the the entire southwest, the south and the southeast align together in APC, and then you now take the north central, and then some part of the northeast and northwest, the president is home and dry in the 2027 election, and Atiku's ambition or whoever will be dead on arrival. That's basically what they are trying to do. That's the politics they are playing. It has nothing to do with whether APC is doing fantastically well or that is why as far back as 2024, they were already discussing 2027, even though they have not yet, settled into office from 2023.
Interesting one there. For the want of time, we'll, just move over quickly to what is happening in Rivers State. There is a sole administrator there, but that is not the news. The news was a few days ago at the night of tribute for the former Edo State man, Edwin Clark. Governor Fubara'S, suspended Governor Fubara'S now, was at a meeting, and when it was his turn to speak, he played down some of those supportive voices that spoke with him in support of him at that event. And he said, guys, this is about tribute and respect to the, elder statesman. Let's keep it that way. And in fact, he went on to say, whatever you guys are saying is your opinion. It doesn't represent my opinion. And he later said, please, who told you I'm eager to go back to the government house? My spirit, that is Fubara'S, has left the government house. Don't you see how good I'm looking? I'm not interested. Who told you I'm interested? These were his words. Mr. Oshoma, how do you take such statement? Do you see it as somebody who is tired or just another politician talking to the sentiment of the people?
It's a political statement. For lack of a better word, it's a political statement. And you don't take political statements on the surface. There are always, the statements always laced with meanings underneath. If what we hear is anything to go by, that there have been meetings, that Fubara'S has visited Tinubu, saw him with Tinubu when he went to France. He went with some governors of the Southeast. And subsequently, we learned he was with Tinubu in Abuja and all of that. So, this such statement is akin to saying, these people, you people that are agitating, bring Fubara'S back, bring Fubara'S back, bring Fubara'S back. No, Fubara'S likes the fact that military administrator is there now, and then let him do the 6 months, then I can come. I like what the president did. I'm not opposing the president. Our president is a dictator, if you don't know. But you think he's a Democrat. He's not. And he has his own way of dictating quietly without you thinking or seeing his hand. So they probably would have told the man, calm down, behave yourself, and allow this man do his thing. If we don't see any opposition from you, you can come back there. So that's basically what you're saying. No, I'm not sitting. At what point did he realize that the government house was no longer attractive? The same government house that he was using only his green barrel to recognize who becomes an assembly member or who does not become an assembly member. My brother, let's leave these politicians and their statement. It's a political statement just to show that, every politician who wants to run for office will tell you, I am not interested in the office now.
All right, because of time.
On the mandate now. You remember Goodluck Jonathan once told us he wasn't interested in 2015. You remember Obasanjo also told us he was not interested in second term.
Absolutely. All right, Mr. Oshoma. So, Mr. Oshoma, so are you saying categorically that former governor, not former, suspended governor Siminalayi Fubara should not be taken very seriously on that statement? Is that what you're saying categorically? Because from his appearance, the image he's portraying, is that he's actually tired of the office. That if he had his switch, so he sounded as if some people are imposing that position on him.
It's the impression he's giving. That's what I told you. Don't take him seriously. The picture he's trying to paint is that, look, I'm not interested. All those people are agitated. I am not the one sending them. I like what the president has done. Me, I'm tired, first. That's basically what you're trying to see. But
all right.
I can tell you, it's a fallout of the meetings that have been held with the president and the ruling party.
All right.
That's why such statements are coming from him.
Thank you.
Have you seen the man? Let me ask you now. Have you heard anywhere that Siminalayi Fubara has written a resignation, even if after the tenure of the military administrator, hand over to my deputy? Hand over to my deputy as I'm no longer interested. Have you seen any statements at that?
Interesting one
He's
there.
no longer interested. It's not to tell us, I'm looking fresh. It is to say, look,
you should just resign.
At the expiration of these 6 months, which I believe is unconstitutional, and I still believe it's unconstitutional, the office should be handed over to my deputy. I'm no longer interested. Let them have it.
Exactly.
That's how you say you're tired.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Liberos Shuma, a constitutional lawyer and public affairs analyst, for your time. We appreciate it. All right, and interesting take there. We'll go on this quick break. When we return, we speak to a member of the House of Assembly in Osun State. We will ask for scorecard of the Osun State House of Assembly, more than 2 years in office now. His personal scorecard and some politics playing out in the state. Stay with us.